Boom. We're recording. Welcome to episode 45 of the Good Guy podcast. We're having a good time. I guess we're having a good time. It's quarantine. We've been quarantined. God knows why we've been quarantined. I mean, everyone knows why we've been quarantined. Coronavirus. Hello. Little bit of coronavirus. Up in your ass. Coronavirus up in your ass. Coronavirus up in your asshole. Episode 45. Obviously a solo podcast. Because what the fuck else is it going to be? Huh? It's not going to be I'm not going to have guests on. I don't play with no Skype shit. Speaking of not playing with Skype shit, we've got a new podcast coming out on Skype. No, it's on Zoom actually, so still don't play with no Skype shit. Don't fuck about with me. In lieu of fucking comedy shows, we're putting out a thing called Doing Bits with Vittorio Angelone and Ishan Akbar. We've got guests from big fucking comedians lined up, hopefully, to fucking come and do it. Tonight is the first one, so if you listen to this, you've probably already missed it, but it goes out live on YouTube, and then also it will go out on podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff, and then you can watch it back on YouTube as well. Just making sure no one's annoyed at me in the house. So I'm back home in Belfast. Our first guest is Tez Elias on the Doing Bits thing, so that'll be fucking sweet. He's fucking great. Yeah, I'm back home in Belfast. That's the first thing I should talk about. I left London maybe 2 weeks ago, and then I went up to Carlisle from London, grabbed just a bunch of stuff. Carlisle to stay with my girlfriend Izzy, and it was like sweet. I was staying with her mum, and her mum's partner, and yeah, it was good. Like, I was out of London because all the schools closed because I didn't have any work, and I didn't have any gigs because comedy doesn't exist anymore. Hey, fantastic. Speaking of comedy not existing anymore, actually, if you're a regular listener to the podcast, or if you're a new listener to the podcast, or any kind of listener of the podcast, and you enjoy what I'm putting out loads of fucking stand-up clips, doing loads of interviews and streaming and podcasts and all sorts of shit, trying to still make people's lives a bit better, essentially. If you enjoy that, and feel like you want to support me, in the sense that I've lost a lot of money from gigs, and not all of the schools that I teach at are helping us financially. Jump on my Patreon if possible. The plan initially was to launch a Patreon a bit further down the line, when we've got a few more dedicated listeners on board, and we can do a big launch thing and have do the whole fucking thing. But I have been really overwhelmed by the donations. Actually, it's been really nice. I felt good to see people feel like they want to support me in doing stuff. Because you gotta support freelancers at times like this, because we are fucked. So if you want to jump on there, it's patreon.com/Vittorio Angelone. Chuck us as little as £1 a month. What's that? That's nothing. £1 a month. That's fucking nothing. I mean, most people are giving more than £1 a month. You know. But people always say, if you buy me a pint once a month, do a fiver, because that's a pint. Or if you're still making a lot of money and feeling in a comfortable position to fucking chuck us a few extra quid, fucking go for it, mate. I would really appreciate it. It's helping me pay my London rent while I'm in Belfast. It's a bit mad in Belfast. My mum, dad, and brother are all working from home, so it's a tense environment. High pressure cooker is what I would call it. A pressure cooker. But we're gonna fuck about and talk about some shit that isn't the coronavirus on the podcast by myself. Because we'll talk about some shit that is the coronavirus, but also we'll talk about mostly shit that isn't the coronavirus, because we're a bit saturated with the old coronavirus. I think. This is my makeshift studio, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube. Hopefully this all works. I think it's like makeshift studio, but it's a lot of new gear, a lot of new kind of software on the computer. So if it all works, it will all kind of be transferred to the London setup, and we'll start doing shit like that there, like this there. I'm recording on a different app, so hopefully this fucking works. Hopefully it sounds okay and looks okay. But if it doesn't, eat a dick. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. If you go on my Instagram at Vittorio Angelone, you'll see like there's a quarantine schedule which is actually being updated soon. With stuff I'm doing every day of the week. I'm on Twitch playing comedians at 8 Ball Pool, and it's basically an interview, but it's just got a bit of fucking crack attached to it with the whole Twitch thing. We've got Sundays. I do the Sunday roast where you message in and request a roast for you or someone you know or a celebrity or a government happened on Sunday there. And if you feel like it was a good roast, you chuck a quid in my PayPal to help support. And we had a whole fucking pile of people do that on Sunday, which was good, and it's good fun for me to keep writing jokes. Yeah, fucking good. Been watching a lot of films. Who the fuck hasn't been watching a lot of films? I watched Lord of the Rings, the second one and the third one, because the first one's not on Netflix. Hey, Netflix. Why? Why not? Why not? Great diction on the T's. Why not? Weird. Like, why is the first? I'm gonna find out. Why is speaking of Lord of the Rings, sound like fucking Gollum when I'm trying to reach the keyboard. Why is the first Lord of the Rings not on here? Came up straight away. Netflix. Sadly, only the first movie is on Netflix. What? That's old. Old articles. Don't need it. Don't need it. What's Unilad? A reputable source of information. 2 Lord of the Rings movies are now streaming on Netflix, making a movie marathon the perfect way to spend the first weekend of the year. I forgot when I read, I do a very posh English accent. After days and days of eating, drinking, socializing, and spending money, I think everyone's mate. This is anything that's longer than a week ago is old news and isn't up to date on the current chaos. They don't necessarily. Why won't be able to watch the whole channel? It's only the 2 hours. It hasn't. Doesn't say anything. The 2 sequels. Why is it? Fucking tell me. That's interesting. Female writer on Unilad. I did not expect that. Why is The Fellowship of the Ring not on Netflix? That doesn't make any sense. What the? Oh fuck! I don't care. I'm out. I'm out. I'm not talking about that anymore. Um, Point is, there's no actors of color in Lord of the Rings, except for in the third one and a little bit in the second one. You get these kind of Middle Eastern looking guys on Sauron's team because ethnic people are bad guys. People of color are the bad guys. That's all I'm gonna say. In Peter Jackson's eyes, anyway, or whoever the fucking casting director was. Like, come on. And I'm not a woke magoke, but it's pretty funny. There's also like one black guy who rides an elephant and has a nose piercing that's a bone. Like, what? You write the jokes, okay? Oh my days, funny. That's some funny shit, Vittorio. Um, But it's weird, like the because no one's doing anything, or I get this anyway, where you're just in the house all day and you're watching films. So the only reference you have to like compare stuff to that's in your brain is just films. So I was like, oh, I'm on my phone a bit too much at the minute, and I was like, yo, this is exactly like when Frodo was carrying the Ring of Power. Like, what the fuck am I talking about? And then I thought, well, I guess in a way, phones are the original Lord of the Rings. Jokes. Um, that's fun. I'm stretching my back. What else? Lord of the here, fucking good films. I'm really not normally into that fantasy stuff, but I'm telling you, good films, very good films. Um, yeah. What else? I watched History Boys today, and it's one of Izzy's favorite films, and I was like, oh, this will be cool. I'll watch it, and like loads of people have recommended it to me over the years. Um, but I I'm too close. I came off it being like I didn't like that movie, but it's not like, and I don't think it's one of those things where it's like, oh, did it challenge you and did you not like it because it challenged your ideas? No, I just didn't like it because I think it's a bitch version of Dead Poet Society. Get on my level. What other movies have I watched? Um, Captain Fantastic with Viggo Mortensen, who honestly that was the big stress with watching Lord of the Rings. Like, if you're a guy and you can watch Lord of the Rings with your girlfriend and just be fine when Aragorn's on the screen, you're a better man than I am, because I got a boner and so did Izzy. He's just so handsome and good at acting. So Captain Fantastic is I fucking this is why I like the Green Book, because he's ugly in that, ugly in Italian, which is like ugly twice. Um, yeah, man, I watched that. Jesus, I haven't done a solo podcast in a fucking while, and I should have asked for questions, but I didn't, and here we are. I'm fucking trying to get my brain into a microphone, and it feels strenuous, and I forgot my water. So if I get a little bit tacky in the saliva, you know why. Oh, dearie me. What do we do? Coronavirus. Found a mad thing where I was like, oh, but they're close to finding a vaccine. And then my brother, who does science, vague, he does physics, but he like reads more science than I do. He was like, yeah, but even if they find a vaccine that stops the virus, they have to test it for like months and months and months before they can give it to the general population. I was like, why? And I was like, he was like, well, what if you find a virus that works, give it to everyone, and then you find out it has a side effect of making you sterile? Game over, humanity. Your move, uh, pangolins. You got what you wanted. You fucking pangolins. You fucking bats and you pangolins. Um, you got what you wanted. You wanted us off the fucking earth. Saw a funny tweet today that said pigeons must think we're extinct. I thought that was funny, even though it doesn't really hold up because people are still going out for their odd walk. Then maybe they think we're endangered. Maybe they're setting up like a worldwide wildlife foundation. Pigeons have ads like sponsor a human today. Fucking pigeons are fucking pledging money to save the endangered humans. They're like, we must help the humans. They're like, we have to send the pigeons photos and be like, to keep them updated on how we're getting on, like when you sponsor a white tiger. Sponsor a white baby today. That's it. Pigeons have set up a fucking sponsor a human. The donkey sanctuary, but for fucking idiots. Oh, I saw someone. I did a. I saw someone tweet recently. I got in a little Twitter argument. Well, I had someone. Yo, this was funny. Uh, I had someone message me on Twitter because I was doing the roast thing, and then he joined in, and it was nice, like. But then he fucking. Because I don't know. I kind of unfollow people like every so often if they just like post something. I'm like, that's boring. I couldn't be bothered following you. Um, and then he was doing all this shit, and he got into some argument with a guy, a back and forward, and I was like, as a joke, I was like, right, lads, calm down. We need to find some common ground here. Like, maybe if you guys both subscribe to my Patreon, then we can all get together and talk this out. As a joke, to be like, the solution to your argument is supporting me financially. And obviously I'd unfollowed this guy like at some point. He sent me a message. He's like, unfollow me if you want, just like I did with your podcast. How bad is it you call yourself a Celtic fan, then take sides with a non-Celtic, for fuck's sakes? Now that's comedy. I was like, are you okay, man? Didn't unfollow you today. It must have been a while ago. And he was like, nah, checked, buddy. Away you go, you clown. And you know what? Good riddance. Don't need you in my life. Fucking unfollowed your podcast as if I give a fuck. Unfollow. Okay. If you're going to expect every Celtic fan to agree with you on everything, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want you listening to my podcast. I don't want anyone listening to my... No, that's not true. Stay. I don't want anyone listening to my podcast. Fuck you guys for making me do this. Fuck you. No. I'm losing my mind a little bit. But another thing that happened on Twitter was that a guy posted about the clap for the NHS, because we all clapped, because it was nice, because the NHS are doing some fucking good shit. Pure like doctors coming out of retirement, like the fucking Expendables. If you remember them films with all the old action movies, and you've got fucking Sylvester Stallone there, like, and you got Jason Statham just never moving his face but conveying all the emotions at once. Just fucking, alright, we go to the fucking fuck off. That just no, just Jason Statham face, who's only ever in films that have 2-word titles. The Transporter. I'm gonna find him. Jason Statham. Searches the on Google. I'm also, the camera might get a bit wobbly while I'm doing that, because I realize I still need to get a cable that connects my camera to my laptop. Typecast as the anti-hero, he is known for his action thriller roles and portraying tough, irredeemable, and Machiavellian. Anyone who says Machiavellian in real life is getting my fingers in their nose. Where do we go? Just show me your movies, right? Okay, first one wasn't 1 or 2 word titles. It was Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, which is a long title, but a lot of them are short. Maximum 3 words. Snatch, Turn It Up, Ghosts of Mars, The One, Mean Machine, The Transporter, The Italian Job, Collateral, Cellular, Transporter 2, Revolver, London, Chaos, The Pink Panther. When the fuck was he in The Pink Panther? Crank, War, The Bank Job, In the Name of the King. Don't pay attention to that one because it doesn't live up to my theory. Death Race, Truth in 24, Transporter 3, Crank, High Voltage, 13, The Expendables, like I was just talking about, The Mechanic, Romeo and Juliet, Jason Statham's in Romeo and Juliet. Who knew that? Jason Statham's in Romeo and Juliet. That's so weird. Blitz, Killer Elite, Truth in 24-2. We're counting that. Safe, The Expendables 2. Counting it. Parker, Fast and Furious 6. Counting it. Hummingbird, Homefront, The Expendables 3. Fuck off, is there 3 of them? Wildcard, Furious 7. Spy, Mechanic Resurrection, The Fate of the Furious. Counting it. The Meg, Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. Long. Cash Truck is in post-production right now. Honestly, Jason Statham gets a fucking phone call from his agent and goes, "Hey Jason, we've got a movie for you." Why is the agent also an action hero? "Hey Jason, we've got a movie for you." And Jason Statham's like, How many words in the title? No, he's from England. Did he not grow up in Australia? No, he's English. How many words in the title? What? Nah, I can't get him out of Australian in my head. How many words in the title? Title. How many words in the title? Ah, fuck. I backed myself to do a Jason Statham impression on the fly, but it didn't happen. So his agent's like, "Jason, we've got a movie idea for you." And Jason Statham's like, "Well, how many words are in the title?" And then Jason Statham's agent's like, What? Why do you, how many words are in the title?" And he's like, "But why would that make it, He's like, "How many words are in the title?" 4. "No." Boop. Hangs up the phone straight away. And then the agent phones back and says, "Jason, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Cut one of the words then. Just cut one of the words." And the agent's like, I'm not making the film. And he's like, "Boop." And he's like, "Jason, got another film for you. How many words?" 2. "I'm in." Oh, shit. "I'm in." I fucked that up so bad. I thought it was going to be good. But it fucking didn't. We were talking about doctors coming back to the NHS like it's the fucking Expendables. Which I'm going to... Yeah, let's go in the Expendables. Who the fuck's in the Expendables? Just literally all the old bastards. Mickey Rourke, Bruce Willis, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jason Statham, Randy Couture, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, Terry Crews. In the second one, Chuck Norris joins in, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Mel Gibson, Harrison Ford, Kelsey Grammer, Antonio Banderas, Ronda Rousey. But that's what the doctors are now. The doctors are the Expendables of the fucking NHS. Just all the old seasoned vets go in, and a guy sprained his ankle, and the fucking old guy's like, "Cut it off. Cut it off." And the guy's like, can we just put like a splint on it? And he's like, "Not in my day. Cut it off." Because that's what doctors did back in the day. And you get pure vets lined up helping out the NHS, and they're just shotgun out. Coronavirus. Because that's what they do to horses after the Grand National. After they win you money, you fucking cocks. So anyway, this guy posted on Twitter being like, "Why are we giving a round of applause for the NHS workers for doing their work? I think post people," was what he said. The postal delivery service deserves a round of applause for them working as well. They're putting themselves just as much risk. And I was like, "What?" No, he said, "Why are we not giving a round of applause for delivery people?" And I was like, maybe because Postman Pat didn't have to come out of retirement to fight a deadly airborne chainmail, which I thought was very funny by me. And then he said, "No, I'd say postal delivery, post people would get just as much fucking whatever, like from like dangerous dogs, etc. on their round." And at this point I just went, "Bye." because I don't know whether you're trolling or bye. So I'm going for bye. Don't need this confusion in my life. And he said, thanks for playing, which makes me think he was trolling. But bye. That's what bye. That's what I say to you. Bye. Okay? That's what I say to you. Goodbye. How long have we been recording for? 25. We'll aim for half an hour and then we'll fucking bin it. Because who the fuck is paying attention for any longer than that? My brain's mush. My brain's mush, man. I'm telling you that my brain's fucking mush. I've lost it. I've lost all sense of self in the isolation. I just want to go home. But I am home. But I want to go home in the sense of a time when we didn't have to deal with things like this. Do you know what I mean? I want to go home. Metaphorically. I want to go home to my normal life. I want to tell jokes in front of people. I miss it. I miss telling jokes in front of people. It makes me feel more myself. Don't know if you've noticed on this podcast, but sometimes I'll do accents and silly voices. And I don't do that when I'm doing stand-up. Because I feel myself when I'm doing stand-up. I feel like I can be honest with you when I'm doing stand-up. I feel like I get my views across in a humorous manner during stand-up. But here we are. Coronavirus is taking everything from me. It's turned the waves against me. But seriously, I'm telling you. I tell you before. Do you mind that? I tell you before. I want to have some chicken and ham pie for lunch. But I want to do stand-up more than that. I just need like 10 of you in the room. 10 people's a gig for me. That was my last gig. It was 10 people, new material. Some of it was good. I was like, that's good. I'm going to do that again. I guess not. I guess not. Do you know what I mean? Do you can? Sorry to any Scottish people that had to listen to that. I didn't mean to offend, but here we go. I hope you're all keeping well. That'll fucking do for the... How long did I just do a Scottish accent for? Like 3 minutes. Amazing. What an amazing effort by me. Thanks very much for listening to the podcast. Yeah, I'm just going to do half an hour a week because I'm putting out so much other shit at the minute that I think it's nice to just chunk it up, and I'll put out some clips. We'll do the whole thing. Yeah, that's wobbling a lot. I need to fucking get that cable so I can connect the camera, but I'm well lit, and that's the most important thing, you know? I'm well lit. Okay? Thanks very much for listening to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you're staying safe. I hope that you're staying inside. I hope you're liking the shit that I'm putting out. I'm doing stand-up clips, still loads more. They come out every Saturday. This will come out every Tuesday, along with the doing bits with Ishan Akbar and AN guest this week, Tez Ilias. I hope you're having fun. Hope you're staying inside. Hope you're washing your hands, not touching your face. Fucking real good. And I will catch you next week on a Tuesday, every Tuesday. If you want to support me on Patreon, please do. Just please do. It would really help. I would really appreciate it. I appreciate so much the people who have already subscribed. And I appreciate you all for listening anyway. And if you can't afford it, if you're fucking lost a bunch of work, or if you just don't feel like you want to, that's okay as well. But if you fancy buying me a pint, which will essentially be you buying 1% of my rent for the month, please do. Thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you another time. See you later.